When you buy a home, you think you're buying a little freedom. But in my neighborhood, the HOA made sure that freedom came with 1,000 rules. They had rules about mailbox colors, curtain shades, even how long your trash bin could sit outside. But my real crime? I built a small tool shed. It wasn't fancy, just a wooden shed I made myself behind my garage. A few planks, a roof, some shelves. I just wanted a place to work on projects, fix things for neighbors, and maybe teach my son how to use a hammer properly. Nothing crazy, then came the letter. Big red stamp, violation. It said my shed violated HOA uniformity standards and distracted from community aesthetics. Basically, they thought my shed was too ugly. They demanded I tear it down in 7 days or pay $200 per day in fines. So I called the HOA office. The president, a man named Richard, answered. He said, "Rules are rules. You can apply for a shed approval, but we only allow prefabricated structures purchased from approved vendors." I said, "So I can't build my own?" He laughed. "You can build one, if you're a corporation." That's when something clicked. If they didn't want my tool shed, fine. I'd build something even bigger. Not for me, but for everyone. I went around the neighborhood that weekend talking to people. Turns out, half of them had received fines for ridiculous reasons. A slightly taller mailbox, a flower pot too close to the sidewalk. Everyone was tired of it. So I said, what if we make something together? Something that belongs to all of us. 3 weeks later, in my backyard, a group of neighbors showed up with hammers, drills, and lumber. Together we built a bigger, stronger shed, with open walls, tool racks, a workbench, and shelves labeled for community use. It wasn't just a tool shed anymore. It was a free neighborhood workshop. We called it the People's Shed. Every Saturday, folks came by, fixing broken chairs, building birdhouses, teaching kids how to use tools safely. It became a small movement, one that didn't care about HOA rules, only about helping each other. Then one afternoon, Richard showed up. He had a violation notice in one hand and a smirk on his face. He said, "You can't run a business on HOA property." I said, "Good thing it's not a business, it's a community service." I handed him a folder. Inside was the paperwork. The People's Shed was now officially registered as a non-profit community workshop, backed by local donations and protected under the same HOA bylaws that allowed community gardens and educational spaces. He went pale, because to shut it down now, he'd have to shut down every HOA garden